Well, hey there, it's Elka.
And Jen, and hello everyone. We are going live here on YouTube and on Facebook to talk to you about something really, really, really exciting. But before we get into the topic of our video, I just wanted to say that both Elka and I are Zazzle expansion experts. We are the Zazzle experts on the internet to help people become profitable on Zazzle, which is a print on demand platform, and earn money online through passive income. We've been on Zazzle since 2007. Both Elka and I independently had our own Zazzle stores. And when we first started out, Elka really wanted to make her Zazzle business work for her because she actually quit her very high end paying corporate job that was a 9 to 5 job and needed to supplement that income somehow. And so to make Zazzle work, she realized that she needed to have certain strategic action steps and strategies put in place. And that's where our famous 5 strategies have come from that we need now teach our Profit by Design Academy coaching clients in our Profit by Design Academy coaching program. And so Elka and I have now been mentoring and coaching people for the last 8 years because of our knowledge on the Zazzle platform. Both her and I were very successful. Elka is actually one of the top sellers on Zazzle that was featured actually as well because of how much money she made when she first started out and grew her business on Zazzle. And now we teach our knowledge and skill sets to our clients all around the world. And we have actually collectively, from our clients who have told us the statistics of their earnings, have helped them sell over $160 million worth of Zazzle product, which is really amazing to think about that figure. So Elka and I have taught them what they needed to know, and collectively with our clients, we've asked them to share their earnings, and we have helped our clients sell over $160 million worth of Zazzle product after they have come into our coaching program. Okay, so that's really exciting. So that's our little bit of an intro, and today here on this live video, we are,
We have to change.
join our masterclass. Sorry, I have to fix that. It says masterclass, but it's actually mastermind. Here we go.
Yeah.
That's better. Here, join our Zazzle Mastermind. Just move me 1 second here. Here we go. In
Yeah.
Mallorca. So we are holding a mastermind for certain types of levels of designers on Zazzle. So Elka can dive in now. I've did the
Yeah.
intro.
Okay, perfect. Well, we always talk about the Profit by Design Academy, which is our signature course. The thing that's really fun though is that once people are like at consistent $5,000 or $10,000, there are other programs that we've implemented because people were at that stage, like consistently making that profit every month, and they go like, we need more because we can see we can get more in terms of sales. And some of our clients for the top level of these masterminds, because that's what we implemented, the masterminds, they're now making $20,000 to $30,000 a month. That's sheer profit, right? Like some people talk about sales and they go like, oh, made $100,000, but what do you get to take home? Our clients get to take home $20,000 to $30,000 US. So when we were in the mastermind doing this in June, we didn't do them during COVID, but we did some in Australia. We did our first initial one in Mallorca because of Jen has a history there, and it's really a very advantageous place to do it. Plus, it's amazing. So she can tell you about that in a little bit, but let's talk the numbers and the whole reason this has come up and why we're here is we just talk about this in our community for the people that are usually already further along and trained in through, like having gone through the PDA or the Profit by Design Academy, which is like PDAs are short form. And so we were there in June this year, and we go like, why are we letting people only come into this experience when they're already making a lot of money? Because the original people who are now at this current mastermind were at the original mastermind in 2019, and they're the ones that weren't making very much money back then, but we made them like double and triple and quadruple and 10 times their income because they were in that original mastermind. And so we go like, well, why don't we just open this up to everybody, including people who have not even been on any sort of training of ours yet? And so that's how the Bronze Seller Mastermind came about. And this is now happening. We're going to be in Mallorca in the last week of, actually the first week of October. So that's a month from now. I know that it's a little bit short notice for you guys if you're not in our community, but in our community, we give people first dibs in our community. And we've been talking about it since we decided to do it in June. And we have had some information on Instagram and so on. So if you haven't thought that you were able to do this, this is our pitch video to just tell you this is still an opportunity. We have 2 spots left, and we're going to take people who either are just on Zazzle but haven't even made like more than a couple of dollars, or they're brand new and they just want to start out right and get very intensive training. So you will be getting the Profit by Design Academy access for the whole year as well. But we're going to give you extra training and extra tender loving care with a 5-day Mallorcan in-person retreat, where we're going to talk about and get you in a set up with what niche you're going to pick to start with to dominate, what products you need in that niche to get going, what are your design skills, and if there aren't any, we're going to set you up with, what your opportunities are to get that ramped up. We're going to help you with marketing. We're going to help you with branding. We're going to do a photo shoot. We're going to do everything and anything to get a business up and running so that you can run a business on the Zazzle platform and crush it. Now, income-wise, we can't make any guarantees, and it depends on the level of skill sets that you have to start with. So understand it takes time, but by having this mastermind attention that we normally give to our 5 and 6 figure people, at the level of $0 earned, you're just going to benefit so much already, while you're also doing the Profit by Design Academy foundational work by watching all the step-by-step videos. So having basically Jen and I in your back pocket to ask questions. We're going to have the 5-day in-person work, but also fun play stuff, which Jen will talk about in a minute. But every day we're going to work from 9 to 1 for 5 days, and you're going to get so much done. And then you're basically going to get us to tell you your plan for the year. And then you're also going to get a lot of fun in the afternoons, because we're going to do some fun stuff and explore Mallorca. But then you also get 12 coaching calls, 1 a month, where we do really intense work in addition to all the stuff that you get in the Profit by Design Academy. We don't want to overload you, but basically we're always going to give you sort of it'll be as if you're in the office with us, because you're going to be getting that much attention. And if you have questions and you want to send us emails, we'll send you little Loom videos back with answers. We are there for you, and you're going to also be able to interact with this group that's working with you together to build each of you are going to build your business. And that is going to create camaraderie and accountability and friendships, and also just leveling up. Oh, she did this or he did that, and let's I want to achieve that too. And so you get this incredible year experience that starts off with a fun week in Mallorca. And that's your lead into, Jen.
Yeah. So if you don't know what Mallorca is or where Mallorca is, I'm just going to show you on the map, and then also show you some pictures. As Alka mentioned, or it was mentioned in this live stream, I used to live in Mallorca for 10 years when I was younger. I moved over there when I was 18, 19. And so I've been there, and I was really interesting because it's changed and evolved so much, which is amazing. There's so many more amazing restaurants and places to go and things to do and things to see. But the fact that the island is just so beautiful with so many amazing beaches and landscapes, it's just glorious. When you drive around, there's mountains and a mountain range, and then there's sea everywhere, right? Because it's an island. So wherever you go along the coast, there's beautiful caves and coves and beaches. And I just love the area. Not only is it a gorgeous island, but then just the culture is absolutely amazing as well, in terms of the Spanish culture and also the food and the relation to food and culture there, right? In terms of just that it's a lot more of a warming experience with spending time with people, right? In terms of just relaxing and enjoying. And, the day goes on and you don't really care about how much time you've spent there, but it could be hours where you've sat down at a restaurant and you're just really having an enjoyable time being with the company who you're with. And I love that about the Spanish culture. And so we are taking you to Mallorca because I know the ins and outs of Mallorca, because I lived there for such a long time. And I've also really did a lot of exploring when I was there. I've been pretty much to every place on the island just because I personally love doing exploring and road trips and finding new places that aren't your typical tourist trap. Because Zazzle, because Mallorca does have a lot of tourists that go there. There are areas, obviously, that are catered more towards tourism, and are a little bit more of on the hokey side. But then there's a lot more beauty, like natural beauty, and like smaller places, and also larger places on the island that a lot of tourists don't really go to because they're very wary of going out on their own and exploring. First of all, because maybe they don't have the vehicle means to do so, or they don't have the language. And I speak fluent Spanish. And so if anybody also has that in terms of like a doubt in the mind of, okay, we're going to Spain and nobody speaks Spanish, I speak fluent Spanish. And so I can speak to the locals and I can speak to people based on whatever activity we're doing, right? And I think it's just absolutely amazing. I'm going to share my screen now just to show some pictures. But the water is...
And just before you get to the beautiful pictures, the reason that this is so meaningful is because the reason Jen was even able to go to Mallorca and have this 10-year experience was because of, you can tell her.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that part of the story. It was because I moved just because, well, I just because moved over to Mallorca, but I met somebody and moved over to be with them and live in Spain. However, the reason why I was able to do so and actually live there on my own independently, because I'm originally from Canada, right? And I'm Canadian, and so I moved halfway across the country, halfway across the world to live in a completely different country. And it was available and easy for me to do that because I had my Zazzle business. Because I didn't actually get employed when I was over there, and I wasn't even allowed to be employed based on certain rules and regulations of visas and things. And so I never had a job the entire time that I was over in Mallorca living there full time, except that I had a full-time job on Zazzle, which was absolutely amazing because it gave me first of all, the time, location, and financial freedom. Like if you were wrapping that up in a box and said, here's your perfect lifestyle because you can go to the beach every single day and work on your computer for a couple hours, that was my dream. And so I lived in reality. It was my dream and reality. Yeah, it was. I would wake up in the morning, do a little bit of Zazzle work, then literally spend the rest of the day at the beach and laying in the sun. And that sounds very, whatever you want to call it, but it was my lifestyle and I absolutely loved it. And so for me, that was the thing that made that lifestyle possible was working on my Zazzle business and having the 5 strategies that we teach about in our Profit by Design Academy coaching program and in our masterminds. I implemented those 5 strategies in my business, and I was able to not only enjoy and go to the beach and all of those things, but move to a completely different country. And then also during this time period, I had to take a time off of Zazzle for a while, just because my father passed away and I really couldn't work and focus. And so it was probably about 2 years of me just living in Mallorca, not working on my Zazzle business. And it was still making me money, thankfully, and still providing for me because I was not able to just mentally work on my Zazzle business. And so that's the backstory of where Mallorca comes from, because it has a really special place in my heart. And when I was living over there as well, doing my Zazzle business, Elka and I actually, well, she was consistently visiting me. My whole family was. It was amazing. Like every couple of months, and Mom came and lived there for a couple months at a time. And that's where we actually created sort of the basics of filming for our first course, which is kind of neat too. Yeah. So it has significance there as well. So Mallorca.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Mallorca means something very special to us.
The other thing that I want everyone to understand is the reason we decide to take people on an in-person retreat and do it this way. Like most times when you get an in-person like retreat, it's basically you show up at a hotel, it's in a conference room. And yes, there will be some training in a conference room, but it overlooks the pool. And but it's like a big venue and you're just in a hotel and then you go back home. This one, I want everyone, and this is what we've done in the past masterminds that we've held in Mallorca, is we want to show people what life could look like outside of their current box, right? Like we want to show and Mallorca is a very rich island. There's lots of people that come there to play, and they have like yachts, and like a lot of money is there. So there's several things, right? We want to show you possibilities. We want to show you another lifestyle. We want you to enjoy that lifestyle for a while. So we go take you all to beautiful dinners, and we do really exotic kind of things that we think will give you a little bit of a taste of what life could be like if you do the work to get the achievements, just even with this current model, which is the Zazzle business model. And so that all ties in together to also let your mindset get to more of a believing mindset that it's possible, rather than a struggling mindset, which is where we want to take people from. And that's where we usually find people, is because when they're looking for something to do online, they're usually sort of desperate at the point where, like, I've got to figure something out because it's not working in whatever else I was trying, or they're tired of what they're doing currently, and so they're burnt out. And either way, starting with a week in Mallorca just relaxes you and allows you to be able to focus in on, this is possible for you, and also be able to get the ideas in your head as to what it is that you're going to need to do, and your willingness to do the work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's get into the fun stuff.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, every beach that you go to, this is pretty much what the water looks like. It's very clear, extremely turquoisey. They have an amazing cathedral that's quite famous around Europe, in the main city in Palma, which we will be going to see as well in the mastermind. Like, we'll go be visiting this. This is not particularly on our radar of going to see, but it's kind of neat part of the history. This is one of the castles where they, like, way back when they were, defending the island. This is still a very historic castle where they had people stay and live. And then, it's called the Castle of Belvedere. This is a really neat lighthouse that they have on. In terms of just the landscape and the structure of the island, in the north of the island, they have all of these big, very cool rock faces that kind of jut out. And then in the south, down here where Palma is, it's very much flat. And so this whole area on the north side of the island that I'm kind of circling here, excuse me, it's like a World Heritage. It is a World Heritage site and protected by UNESCO. And it's just an amazing mountain range. And we'll definitely be doing some road trips up there, because actually where we're staying in the island for our retreat is actually up in the north, like on the tip of the north part of the island, which is very neat. And so here are just some amazing pictures of all the different beaches. Literally all around the island, no matter where you are, you have this really amazing opportunity to grab your towel and a bathing suit and just go to the beach. And I just wanted to zoom in here now and show you where we would be going. So this is Palma, the main city. And on Google Maps, obviously, you can see your own research, but it's just absolutely stunning. Like, every part of the island has something different to offer in terms of the landscape and what you can see, and also what you can get in terms of like restaurants, and also just the culture, because Mallorca is a tiny island, but it's actually quite a large island, and it's broken up into a couple different parts, where we have the mountain range here, and then in the main area here, it's actually more flatland and countryside and farmers fields. And then in the main area here, then down here, down south, there's one of the longest, most beautiful beaches in Mallorca. It's called Estrenc, and it's very flat. And then on the side here, you actually have a whole bunch of really cool caves, like natural caves that are inside, and you can actually go and see them here. This is a really cool landscape of whatever Mallorca was as an island, and that it's just so natural, and every part of the island is completely different. And we will be staying up here in the north part of the island, and so you get the opportunity to look at views like this when we do some road trips, which is really cool. And
our hotel.
And from our hotel, yeah. And the view from our hotel is absolutely stunning. So these are obviously like amateur photos from people who have uploaded them, but they're just every area in the island is just gorgeous. And we will be doing a cooking class, which is really cool. So we'll be going in downtown Palma into the main city, and we'll be able to then walk in the main area where the cathedral is. And so let's just zoom in here and I'll show you what that looks like. And then you are going to be able to walk in the main city. Like I said, we're going to be doing a cooking class where you're going to learn how to cook the traditional Mallorcan and Spanish food. This is downtown area with the cathedral, which is absolutely stunning. And we're going to do paella and some Mallorcan dishes as well. And that's one of our activities that we're going to do. And then depending on the schedule and also the weather, etc., we'll be doing a couple road trips to see different parts of the island. I've basically been everywhere. Like I mentioned, I love just going in the car and exploring new places. And so depending on the group of people and what our interests are, we have a couple other things lined up for you. We're going to be doing also an olive grove olive tasting experience where we've created a relationship with Casa Limbella. We can look them up here. We've created a relationship with the owner of this olive grove area, and it's called Casa Limbella, the olive oil. Can we see that here? Yes. And so we're able to go to visit them and then take a tour of their olive grove area and actually have lunch and have or a dinner with the owners of this finca, which is an olive grove. Look at the mountains in the background. It's just absolutely stunning. And so the last time
we just see the Google search of the images.
Oh, so sorry. I'm on their website. I guess that's what happens when I change screens. Just give me a second. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. This is what I'm talking about. So this is it's called Casa Limbella, and they do their own olive oil, obviously, and almonds as well. The owners of the finca have like basically taken the opportunity to create products naturally off of what's growing on their property. So they have olives, almonds, they have olive jam, they obviously have olive oil. Everything's so good. My mouth is watering right now because olive oil is extremely famous for being from Mallorca. So if you're from Canada or from the United States and you're like, olive oil, we use that just to cook. No, this is a different experience. Olive oil is like sacred over there in Spain, and depending on the type of plant, the time of year, the weather, etc., it all like affects the olive trees and the olives that come out of it for olive oil. And so we'll go to an olive oil tasting. So literally you're able to like drink it with a spoon. And I know that sounds a bit odd for people who have never been part of that experience, but you will never want to go back to normal olive oil ever again. And unfortunately in North America, it's actually quite hard to buy certain things like this that are at that high quality of olive oil. So this is a big deal that we'll be able to go to their finca. And what I wanted to, where were we? Visits? Who are we? There was a
something, right?
So this is so there's this is the lovely couple who we met and we made friends with, and they prepared us like their own homemade food, and we ate it in their olive grove on their property. And I think they actually mentioned we have to talk to them because they have a big party every year, which is to harvest the olives, because they do it independently, the two of them. And so they get all of their friends and family to come and help them out. And I think he mentioned that he's actually going to be doing a big olive grove harvest in October too. And so if we're part of that, or maybe we'll be able to be part of that, that's something of an experience that, not everybody gets to do all the time. And then besides that, what else did I wanted to show? So we're doing a cooking class. Then there's other opportunities to do different road trips. Like I mentioned, the caves, and then we have a whole bunch of different beaches and things. And then depending on what you are in terms of preference for your food, there's some beautiful, beautiful seafood restaurants. And there's some amazing, also, they're very well known for their meat too, like red meat and also lamb and farmed meat, not so much chickens and stuff, but like meat, red meat. And so Elka and I have been to some amazing restaurants, fish and meat, and then also their vegetables. Everything is absolutely fresh from the island. Most of the vegetables and fruits are actually grown on the island in Mallorca. They have naturally grown avocado trees, orange trees, lemon trees, fig trees, plums. They have naturally grown, yeah. Did I say lemons?
No,
Almonds,
yeah.
lemons, almonds. They have almond trees, olive trees, obviously, and then anything like as I mentioned, this area here where it's a little bit more brown on the map, they are farmers, and so they have their own meat and their own vegetables, etc. And so some of the restaurants, it's actually quite fun. Mom and I in June we stayed in a small town that's a very local town in Mallorca that's not very touristy, and in the restaurant that's in this main town, Mom will know what I'm talking about in a minute. They have something called Menu of the Day, and it is the most amazing experience because it's like 15 euros or 10 euros per person. And we might do this, we might not do this, but this is just saying that they use everything locally. So it's about 10 euros per day, or per meal, and you get a starter, you get a main meal, a dessert, and a coffee and a tea and a bottle of wine if you want. And the dish is that you choose between the two dishes that they're making that day, right? So it's not technically on the menu, but it's because they have everything that's locally grown and they're using the locally grown stuff to create certain dishes. And so it's a really fun experience because they're just, they're very natural in terms of what they're able to use to cook with. And I know I'm blabbing about that, but to be honest, like where we are from in Canada, they don't have that much in terms of the experience with the food and it being extremely fresh. There might be some places for sure, but here it's like wherever you go, there's always something fresh from somewhere part of the island because they have an amazing fishing industry, shrimping industry, and farming industry as well.
And what I liked about it when I first came there was as Jen said earlier, sort of the long, pleasant experience. And then it's not just in a restaurant. Sometimes it's indoors, but a lot of times in October, you'll still be able to be outdoors because it'll still be warm, and you can probably still swim in the ocean and the sea.
Yeah.
But it's all the outdoor experiences. So you're sitting at a table, you're enjoying incredible gastronomic food, and across the street or even just at the beach, is the beach, and like you're at the beach, or you're in like this place that Jen was talking about. We were on their farm, but the farm itself was incredible because it was in the middle of the mountains. So we saw this beautiful mountain scenery in the background. The sun is setting, and we're just like gorging out on the local food. And they're just talking to us, and we're just having a good time getting to know them. And it just sort of leisurely happened. And all of a sudden it's 9 o'clock, and or even later. And it's just, that is what we want you to experience. We want you to get that, and you get it because thankfully, I understand it more than I can speak it, but Jen speaks it, and so you get, unfortunately or fortunately, you get treated better, and so you are going to get a full, authentic Spanish experience
Yes.
from the locals as well as from the touristy areas, which you can tick the boxes off on the cathedral, etc., and go to the UNESCO site, etc., which we would love to do. And what we'll do too, depending on the number of people, we'll either hire a van that takes us around, or we drive because we are very good at driving there. And so you're going to be taken very personally. You don't have to know what to do or drive a car or whatever. We just really want you to have the best experience possible that takes you out of your current situation and realizes what you could have if that's what you want, right?
Yes.
So, and so this is we do have just sort of saying here that we have a Zazzle Mastermind in Mallorca, but let's explain how this works for the different levels. So in October, the first week of October, so if you're brand new or you've never been part of Zazzle, and you're fine, you're eligible for this Bronze Seller Mastermind. And or if you're just as it says, you're either at pro or bronze in the Zazzle hierarchy of earnings, you're eligible. And so those are the people that we're doing the mastermind with in October. Then for the silver sellers who want to get to gold, for the gold sellers who want to get to platinum, and for the platinum sellers who want to get to, all heights possible, there are going to be masterminds that are being held in June. And it'll be a little bit of a different structure. The ones where the people are just starting out, they need the tender loving care, and we need to get to know them and meet with them and really understand their personalities, how they work, so we can teach and coach them properly. And so we're doing that for the bronze seller. We're going to meet them first, and then they get a year coaching. Whereas for all the other groups, you get a year coaching starting in January, but then we meet up in person in June. And we have more different, permutations, combinations of things for each of the groups, depending on the earning level. And what we can get into that later. But the main thing is that your mastermind in person would be in June. Both October and June are perfect to be in Mallorca, because October is still warm, but out of the tourist season. So you kind of get Mallorca to yourself. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Then in June, it's again the same sort of thing. The weather is warm enough already. It's pleasant. It's not stifling, overheated, and it's not overcrowded, because July and August are the main tourist season times when people just flood the island and it's overwhelming. So June is perfect, and we might even start in May, last week of May going into June, and we're going to hold about them all together at one point. So we'll bring people come over. We'll stay there, and we will have the silver, we'll have the gold, and then we'll have what it's called our 7-figure seller mastermind. And then we're going to have the legacy mastermind. And the legacy is for that one. We will decide whether we can open it up to other people who have never been in our training, but are at platinum and higher, that want to now get to double platinum, double diamond, which is what I'm doing, or why I've done way past. So then we'll have to decide whether you need some qualifications. But if you're someone who's on the Zazzle platform who's never been in any of our training, and you think you're already making enough money, as Jen said, you might actually realize you can double or triple that. And so that would be the legacy mastermind for you. And we're really trying to get to a lot of the people together that are now our diamond sellers, that we nurtured from 0 to diamond, who are now on their way to double diamond. And we want this to be almost like a Zazzle think tank, where we become this group of people that are the top earners, who are going to just keep excelling and quantum leap to the next level. And so if any of this resonates with you as to wow, I've never even realized this is possible, because we always just keep it within our community and we don't talk about it too much outside of our community. But this is our open invitation to you to explore and investigate, fill out our application form, and let's see if we are a good fit for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And so in the description of this video here, wherever you're watching it, you can email us. I put it in the link of the in the description, but you can also email us at support@elclark.com to have a consultation, because you need to obviously be with the right fit, but we'll give you a little bit of an interview, and we'll speak to you about how you can participate, and also the extra the schedule of things, and then the extra things that are involved with the mastermind as well. We'll give you some more details. And then we are hosting one. So if we haven't even mentioned that yet. We're just saying Mallorca in general, right? Or have we said the dates yet?
For which ones? Yeah, in June. Yeah, have we decided the dates? I think we have, right? So
well, I'm just gonna say, even too, there's an opportunity. We're going to Mallorca in October, and there is we have
yeah. But we can say it for the bronze sellers. Yes.
Yeah. For the bronze sellers, we're doing one in October, and then next year in June for the gold and silver. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if, because I said so much all at once. So yes. So I'll repeat that. So in October, what are the dates specifically?
Yeah. Give me a second here. I'm going to open up my calendar. So we are going to Mallorca, and it starts on the 29th of September. so the last day of September, and then goes until the 5th of October. And so we have that as our scheduled time for our Bronze Seller Mastermind. And we do have people who have already committed, and there are only a couple more spots left. And we want to make sure that if that, I mean, I know it's in a couple weeks from now. However, this is a really an awesome opportunity. And we did talk about like the weather in Spain in October and everything. So the dates are from the 29th to the 5th. And then in June, we have yet to lock in our actual dates and when we want, but it's right at the beginning of June.
Yeah. So we would go for maybe the last week in May, and then the first week in June, and the second week in June for the gold, the silver, then the gold, and then the legacy would be actually probably 2 weeks or 10 days in Mallorca rather than just a week, because legacy gets longer. And what each of these, we offer payment plans. If you want, we've personalized the payment plans for everybody because we know that some people can't afford it all at once. Some people just want to pay all at once. Others pay a couple of chunks, or others need like a monthly extended long payment plan. We're all here for that, depending on, we need to get to know you and see what's up and how you're, going to work with us. But if it works out and we can, then we'll give you whatever it is that you need in order to make this happen, because we're here to empower people. We are now at the point where we've empowered so many people that we're feeling very confident about it, and we can do this more often and say, look, this works, just trust us. And then in terms of the costs, we are you're responsible for your flights and trips, like whatever it takes to get there, your insurance and your hotel, except for the legacy. If we get enough people together, then everything's paid for in terms of your hotel. But otherwise, in terms of when you're there, we will be providing like snacks and waters, etc. And then we're taking you out for dinner, and if you want to get some extra lunch or something, one big meal a day, which is going to be the really fun stuff like the cooking class or the Olive Grove and everything else that we have planned, and really beautiful restaurants where you just get to know what you're supposed to order, because Jen will just order and it'll be a feast, and you'll enjoy it and you'll have an amazing experience. Yeah. Those are all taken care of by us, and also your transportation, except for getting to and from the airport. And the hotel has a shuttle. The hotel, we've gotten a discount for you so that you can get we can get the group rate discount code. And so we're making it as feasible as possible for you to do this expense so that you can change your life. And that's what it is, because all the people who have been in our masterminds have just said that that's what we do. We've changed their lives. It's never the same again, and it's for the better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, and we're both really, really excited. It's going to be awesome. Life-changing experience.
And you can see, Elka's the serious side. I'm like, let's get all this stuff. Let's do everything. So this is going to be worth the money and everything. And then Jen's going like, let's go have fun. And it's like, and I do have fun too. I'm just like, okay, it's time to relax. But I'm hardcore when it comes, so be prepared to work from 9 to 1. And then
it's a good balance between fun and implementation, definitely. Yes. Very much so.
Yes. Definitely. Okay. Thank you so much for being here and sort of sharing our excitement. We would love to hear from you, whether you are brand new to Zazzle. Like, it seems weird to do a mastermind right off the bat, but guess what? It's working, because we did it in 2019, and those people are now our top sellers. Okay. And so it just, it really has to, you just have to explore and have faith that if you want to make this business work. One of the things that one of the ladies said, who is now in this mastermind coming up in October, she says she wants to be like Brandon, or she wants to be the next Brandon. And it's like, okay, good, because we need people like that. We just like hunger for people like that, because we want to help them. We have all the skill sets. We know his journey. We've helped him all along. And now he's like our top seller. And so if you want to be a Brandon in our training, then this is the place to start. This is why we even started this. and we're expanding our mastermind rather than just allowing people who are gold sellers into the program.
Mm-hmm. No, it's very true. Okay, well, have a wonderful day, everyone. And thank you so much for being here online with us. And yeah, if you're watching the replay and you have any questions, and you can always comment on this video, or you can email us once more, again, here quickly at support@elkaclark.com to get a consultation interview to see if you are the right fit for our mastermind in Mallorca. All right, thank you so much. And we'll see you all later. We'll see you in Mallorca. Bye.